of the day, Imus in Washington senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Yes, indeedy. Imus in the morning. And thank you so much as always. So tell me, if I give you a big banana, will you let me be your monkey man? Huh? I like that. I like it. Appears as though it's to become the latest I-Man catchphrase among the glamorous and amorous who populate the halls of power, eh? Will the gentleman yield? No. Well, then, if I give the gentleman a big banana, will the gentleman let me be his monkey man? Great all-purpose phrase, J.D. And the Grateful Nation says thank you for bringing it to our attention. And now then to the headlines. Issue 1 today, the great posture photo scandal. Was I just in the final throes of some fitful REM sleep the other day? Or did I actually hear you say there are naked pictures out there somewhere of George Pataki? Yeah. Now, if I have the story right, some Ivy League egghead was taking naked pictures of unsuspecting freshmen, trying to determine whether body type could predict future success potential? Yeah, right. But what did Pataki's frame forecast? That he'd become the first Governor Gump of the state of New York? I do have an admission, Dado. Difficult, but I remember when they took similar photos years ago at Whittier of our incoming freshman class. Terrible thing that caused me no end of embarrassment. You know, I mean, there I was. A frontal shot, side profile, rear, the whole 9 yards. And the humiliation was that they didn't send me for minor posture correction. They sent me for a chiropractic adjustment. Right. They said my pictures made it look as though my crotch and pelvic region had somehow swapped places with my head and neck. And they asked me, is that your nose or your hose? Well, it was just terribly degrading. In the same vein, let's just hope that the nation is spared any release of the Hillary Rodham Wellesley shots, eh? We'd wonder, is this a future First Lady or simply a candidate for the 1969 liposuction poster child? Shut up. Issue 2, high stakes, low snakes, or the defense debacle at the Simpson trial. Doesn't get any better than this, Dunham. No. My view is much as yours. As the trial opens, with O.J. growing increasingly distraught over the discord in his defense dream team, none of us observing should be surprised to find one morning, as Court TV begins its coverage, 2 ginsued bodies slumped at the defense table. Robert Shapiro and F. Lee Bailey, and Johnny Cochran trying to talk O.J. down off the drains. Issue 3, and our exit item, an ode to your acclaimed political humorist, Mark Russell. After hearing that NAFTA hat dance thing from his new CD. You ready? Is Mark Russell some kind of a flamer? I've never heard anything lamer from this lounge lizard habitué. I'm telling you, trust me, he's gay. Olay! Or au fait would probably be a hell of a lot more accurate in this regard, as I think about it. Shut up. And that's an unblinking glance through the Dick scope today, J.D. Both the Dick and the scope being those of Dick Nixon, a late former president of the United States. I'm not dead. I'm alive. Imus in the morning, 2020 Sports.
Here we go. The countdown continues. Super Bowl 29. Only 275 hours to kick off. The San Francisco 49ers battling the San Diego Chargers. 2 teams with talent, with toughness, and a will to win. A will to be champions. And we'll have updates on Super Bowl 29 every hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. So don't go away. You keep it where it is. I'm predicting a San Diego victory in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, save my soul, I can't get a date. My baby got it going. Why they coming through the TV, shooting up the land. My baby loves the Western blues. My baby loves the Western blues.
Not a clue. All right, here now on the Imus in the Morning program, Rush Limbaugh. Good morning, Rush.
My friends, megadittos, it is I, the royal reactionary of the right, reveling in the recent rise of Republican reign, Rush Limbaugh, pausing for a moment to reflect upon one of the tonier objectives of the first 100 days, the attempt to balance the budget by way of federal cutbacks to PBS. Good Sir Newt has decreed public television the sandbox for the rich. And if I may be so bold as to add the brilliant fruit of my cerebellum, I think they've also been sharing the aforementioned sandbox with the cats. Folks, I don't understand the need for public TV. If there's some burning exigency for non-commercial programming, I am sure it can be provided for without my financial support. If the whining liberal patrons want to sponsor Bill Moyer's incessant fawning over those feel-good gurus, Joseph Campbell and Robert Bly, and 96 hours of some effete miniseries produced by the BBC about life in a working-class British housing project, that's their business, but not on my nickel. There's something else at stake here. I've always thought that there was something subversive about public television, especially within its children's programming, which hopefully, under the scrutiny of a Republican Congress, will now come to light. Who has profited the most from their exposure on PBS? Of the myriad minions, let me pick two. Kermit and Lamb Chop, a seemingly benign frog and innocent sheep, respectively, although upon closer examination, something much more insidious is at work here. They are both icons for merchandising machines who, through the aid of your tax dollars, have effectively been given licenses to manufacture money. There isn't a home in America that does not have the image of Big Bird or the Cookie Monster somewhere emblazoned on a T-shirt, stuffed toy, or bottle of vitamins. I'll be damned if I'm going to let some anthropomorphic sweat sock suck off me for support. It's not easy making green. Get a job, you overblown wart-mongering tadpole. And while I'm on the subject, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we were to find a few little special friends imprisoned in the basement of Mr. Rogers. With the advent of Megan's Law, one wonders why he's still in the neighborhood.
Rush Limbaugh here on the Imus in the Morning program. Here's Rush.
He came into the world from the right side of town, Georgia boy who was big and round, and his mom and dad thought they were being cute. Because even though he was their pride and joy, they christened him unlike all the other boys. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Newt. He dedicated his life to the GOP. Wanted to be speaker since the age of 3, dreaming one day he'd wield power absolute. He's the guy who spends a lot of time in the fridge, and it's no wonder he wants to bring back the orphanage. You would too if your parents named you Newt. He learned how to add and how to divide, married his math teacher, and multiplied, but when he went to subtract himself as a matter of course, it was slimy and low rent, the media said, to visit his wife in her hospital bed to get her to grade his paper for a divorce. Well, it may be because he hails from the South, but he's got a little problem controlling his mouth, making statements that the media thinks are crude. Sometimes he pushes the envelope, like saying everybody at the White House is smoking dope, but he don't mean no harm, that's just old news. When he went to D.C., Mr. Gingrich swore someday he'd be there on the Capitol floor, chucking out liberals with a big self-satisfied sneer. And it took almost half a century to get Republicans back in the majority, but when it happened, he said, "My name is Newt. How do you do? All you commies out of here." All you atheists had better beware. School children's heads will now be bowed in prayer, beseeching the Lord to get rid of the poor and the queer. Well, Newt and his Republican protégés are going to fix this country in just 100 days. I'm so proud of him, I'm on the verge of tears. If I had only one life to live, I'd still do it all as a conservative. But if I ever have a son, I think I'm going to name him Bob or Jesse, anything but Newt.
29 after the hour. I am Imus in the Morning. Green with his hideous sports. And then these three nitwits with their snaps book all coming up. I don't care. Any big wrecks? I am Imus in the Morning.
Hey, Bubba, what are you doing? Watching the O.J. trial, Beavis. It's my favorite show. There's nothing else on TV with this level of drama and suspense. Two people at odds with each other, starting out as friends, and then degenerating into senseless abuse. O.J. and Nicole? No, Robert Shapiro and F. Lee Bailey.
I bet that's what Shapiro's saying now. F. Lee Bailey.
You know, it's gotta suck when the people who are supposed to be defending you are too busy defending themselves against each other.
Yeah. If it please the court, I would like to knife my co-counsel.
How long until Shapiro's in the back seat of the Bronco with Alan Dershowitz at the wheel?
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
You know, that's one of the bizarre things about this case. Everybody involved in it has become a celebrity. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Cochran gets a gig hosting Talk Soup.
I'm waiting for Judge Ito's karate movie.
What?
Lance the Dragon Ito, showing off his drunk monkey style in Kung Fu Justice.
He's not doing any Kung Fu movies, Beavis. That is, unless something else happens first.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Marcia Clark does a photo spread in Playboy. Counselor, you make my gavel knock. Guilty of love.
Put her in the court.
Imus in the Morning 2024 rolls on.
Continues. Super Bowl 29 kickoff 274 hours away. The San Francisco 49ers and San Diego Chargers, two battle-scarred teams who have overcome the odds, overcome adversity, now set to go to war in the biggest spectacle in all of sports, the Super Bowl.
Just like within the Nation of Islam. Your mother's breath is so bad she sucks on odor eaters.
Oh, that's lovely.
Your mother's so hairy you could sell her as a chia pet. So we'll talk to these guys. Come on. Right. Your mother's so fat she puts mayonnaise on aspirin. Some are funnier than others. Your mother's so fat in a white T-shirt she looks like a garbage truck. And then there's some other one, house snaps. Your house is so small if you dropped a washcloth that it looked like wall-to-wall carpeting.
Or your house is so small the welcome mat just says, well.
So some clearly are more humorous. As you said. You did snaps, and you had to do double snaps, so that's about 1,000 snaps you had to come up with.
Yeah, we had to go all over the country. Had to get comedians.
Oh, yeah, your mother's so nasty she went to a baker for a yeast infection.
Oh, yeah, come on. My mother's so nasty I called her on the phone and got an ear infection.
Or your girlfriend's like a bowling ball. She gets picked up, fingered, thrown down the gutter, and she still comes back for more.
Oh, you would like that, McCord. You're really embarrassing yourself. Do you have any for Bernard?
Bernard? Oh, yeah. Bernard's so bald, he leaves his zipper open so he can run his fingers through his hair.
Bernard's so bald, when he stands up, he looks like a tall testicle.
Oh, come on. Jesus God.
Hey, Monteria, man, you so black that when you moved into the projects, they said they goes the neighborhood.
Bernard, your mother's like a fancy restaurant. They both take deliveries in the rear.
Oh, snap.
Down in my easy chair, turn on channel 2. One swing across Lawton Sam on the chasing post reason. He trapped her in the old sawmill and said with an evil laugh,
If you don't give it a key to your ranch, I'll saw you all in half.
And then he grabbed her.
And then he tied her up.
And then he turned on the buzz saw.
and then a long day, Imus in the morning.
Leslie, thank you very much. The Imus in the Morning program, and now Bernard McGurk as Maya Angelou.
They bound you in chains, made you pick cotton. Today is basketballs, only your teeth ain't rotten. No rebounds, no assists. I'll cut you, say the owners. They mess with your pride, but can't touch your big bonus.
That will be fine, Maya. Thank you very much. Here's Steve now, bored off at TM in Washington. Good morning, Steve.
Case in point, Jim's father's so stupid he thought manual labor was a Puerto Rican.
Well, your father's so dumb he went to the post office with food stamps.
Oh, yeah? Well, your mother has a Power Ranger negligee.
Excuse me. Your mother is so ugly she could turn Barry White into Al Green. My favorite story about Al Green is he had a fight with
Those Quaker Oats hot grits.
wasn't a funny story, but
Hey, yo, Jim, man, your penis is so small, your girl once asked you, is that a Tic Tac or you just happy to see me? Yeah, but Bernard, your penis is so small, every time your girlfriend grabs it, it looks like she's sucking on a joint.
I don't think we need to get to that level here.
Oh, my. Yo, my dear man,
your mother's so poor she had a cornbread wedding cake.
Yo, your sister's so loose, her legs stay open longer than a 7-Eleven.
Shut up, Bernard. God, stay out of this.
And Bernard's mother's so old, she was a waitress at the Last Supper. More wine, Jesus?
Jesus. How about some hot sauce there? Oh, man. I hope you didn't come on the show. Just appeared on your show on the program. Well, thank you.
Can we get one to Bernard before we leave?
Yes, of course.
All right, then I gotta get a shot.
Okay.
Oh, you go first, Bernard.
Hey, yo, Stefan, man, your daddy's so stupid, he tried to look up the Nation of Islam on a map.
Oh, yeah? Well, your mother's so nasty, her vibrator comes with dual exhaust.
And your mother's like a bag of chips. She's free to lay.
And hey, your material, man, you so fat you break a sweat when you take a leak, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
One more.
Your mother's so skinny her nipples touch. She has a wooden leg with a real foot.
Yeah, and Bernard, your mother's so dumb, I sent her to the store to give me some Head and Shoulders. She got on my shoulders and gave me head.
Meantime, jury selection continues today in New York in the trial of Sheikh Omar Abdel Rahman and 11 of his followers accused of planning numerous terrorist attacks in New York, including the Trade Center bombing. Among the people dismissed yesterday, a fellow who said he had encountered rude Arab cab drivers in New York City.
You're kidding.
No, I know, it's astonishing, but...
Hey, my friend, why don't you eat my huh? I'm not going to Brooklyn, no way.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Why don't you lick my eh? No. Get out of my cab. Get out.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
People flip, more and more people have satellite dishes, and more people watching bars and outside. And you know what? That's useful if you're flipping from game to game.
On the fan, Mike, after I am, we come back to Fox Show Order. Don't go away.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Good job out of Dove Kramer and Bob Gell. We'll play Super Bowl trivia tomorrow and have some fun. See you then. Adios.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Holy...
Pick up Barron's at a newsstand this weekend and find out how money becomes wealth.
Yeah, Bison. Happy Saturday, flashback.
Here now, some of the headline stories we're following in the Imus in Washington Network newsroom. I'm your program host, David Brinkley of ABC News.
I'm Don Imus, a living legend.
I'm Walter Cronkite, a living fossil. Here now, the news. Not so fast there, corduroy face. First, some developments since the morning papers came out. The Branch Davidian post-mortem goes on today, from Capitol Hill to the plains of Texas. A top-to-bottom inquiry at every imaginable level to determine what went wrong. President Clinton issued a statement a short time ago, speaking from the Oval Office.
My fellow Americans, I deeply regret the terrible tragedy that has occurred. I want to assure you that I am conducting the most comprehensive investigation possible to find out why Attorney General Janet Reno and the FBI acted outside my knowledge and jurisdiction on their own without any authorization from me, without me having even the foggiest idea of what was going on. At a time when I was out on my new jogging path, maintaining my health to better serve you, and was completely out of communication while Ms. Reno and the others were arbitrarily deciding without any input from me what they were going to do while I was in the dark. Now, I have asked for Ms. Reno's resignation and authorized her execution. She will be shot at dawn. It's the least this president, who knew nothing, can do for you, the American people that I constantly sacrifice so much for. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, in Dallas, Texas, a dim view of Washington's handling of the entire affair from an increasingly vocal Bill Clinton critic, H. Ross Perot, who says he would have approached things very differently. Perot was incensed last night during an appearance on the CNN program, Larry King Sucks.
Bat bastard, bat bastard, bat bastard. Larry, it's just sad how this thing ended. And you know what? Unnecessary. Now, if I'd have been in the White House, instead of that elephant ass, buck passing, blame dodging, accountability shirking butthead, why, hell, I'd have gone to Waco myself. That's how you fix things. I'd have got under Teresh's hood, greased his ball joints a little, and said, David, come out here, son. Let's talk. I'm Ross Perot. You're a f***ing nut. Here's the gun. Kill yourself. See? It's just that simple. Sometimes you gotta take the Messiah by the horns, Larry.
Meantime, cult leader David Koresh's grandmother, Jean Holland, says her grandson was an innocent victim. He was, in fact, a humanitarian brain surgeon who was just about ready to release to the world the cure for cancer.
Oh, he was a good boy. Loved everybody. You saw him. Back then, he had sex with everybody in order to pass on them love genes. Now see what you did. Got us something that looks like a charcoal-flavored dog bone, and we missed out on a cure for cancer. Hope you're happy.
And finally, at the Justice Department, Attorney General Janet Blowtorch Reno issued a clarification of her role in the disaster and appeared to become more defensive as criticism of her actions mounted.
So I kicked a little, but what do you want from me? That makes me the bad guy? Well, hey, somebody's got to be the law in this town. And if that means your occasional psycho's got to fry now and again, well, flick my bait. And as for President Pantload sticking me with everything, just let me say, the White House looks like it just might be a little on the flammable side itself. You know what I'm saying? Next time somebody asks me how I like my president, what's Janet Johnny Reno's answer going to be? How about extra crispy?
Wanna go
Elliot from Harvard.
Highway Patrol.
Why does Lori sound like she's got a clothespin on her nose? Does anybody understand what that is all about? Man.
It is.
I don't know. Have you ever seen a grown man cry? Yeah, I have. Well, that's what's happening to Richfield Close at the King's Plaza Military Affairs Advisor, the late General George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease, and welcome to hell. This is it. War. Ugly, inhumane, bloody. But here. We knew these days would arrive, people, like it or not. Yes, the O.J. Simpson trial is upon us. At ease, at ease. I understand your concern, believe me, because the worst part of the struggle has nothing to do with what happens in the courtroom, but whether we as citizens, me, you, and you, can keep from killing ourselves listening to some storefront shyster who hasn't had a client since the 70s telling Bobby Batista and Lyndon Souls what Gerald Ullman is trying to do. Give me the overhead, Private. Catch those lights. First light. Here is a brief refresher, people, covering some of the principles at whose sight you will soon gag. First, Robert Shapiro, former lead attorney of the Simpson defense, now ceding that position to, next slide, this individual, Johnny Boogaloo Cochran. Mr. Shapiro is a former friend and close ally of, next slide, this man, F. Lee Bailey, who Mr. Shapiro now has referred to as a snake for releasing to the National Enquirer photographs of Mr. Shapiro's penis wearing sunglasses and a smiley face, but labeled Robert Shapiro. Regardless, for the life of me, I don't understand how an individual whose eyes blink closed from the bottom up can call anybody a snake. Mr. Bailey, seen here exiting a Filipino body shampoo parlor, is suffering in extremis, having once been a noted attorney, but now a grasping, desperate nobody, trying to recover lost glory by affixing himself like a growth to O.J. Simpson's back. Believe me, in his passion for a headline, Bailey would have pulled AC out of the Bronco and driven the damn thing himself. It would have gotten him 30 seconds on ABC's World News Tonight. Next slide. This, people, is Gerald Ullman. He can't hear and will be sacrificed. The defense has given Ullman the task of running with the drug-related murders theory. Poor bastard. Moving forward, these are some of the principals in the opposing camp. Prosecution. Marcia Clark, here, whose hair is so kinky when she combs it, her gums bleed, and who constantly looks as though she needs to go to the bathroom. And this fellow, the new man brought in to try to square up the race balance, but who should have first been required to take a remedial rhetoric course. Looks like Oil Can Boyd and sounds like Leon Spinks. This is the arbiter of these proceedings, Judge Lance Ito. We believe his often dazed expression is a result of access holes sewn into his robe, here and here, through which he is discreetly playing with his Mr. Piggly Wiggly while seated at the bench. And finally, the central figure himself, Orenthal James Simpson, the murderer. As this drags on, people, those legions who lined that freeway crying, "Run, O.J., run," will be kicking themselves for not having yelled, "Gun, O.J., gun," or "Shoot yourself now, you rotten bastard, and spare us all." And that is all. O.J. running left, O.J.
Court is adjourned.
You tell lies thinking I can see. Imus in the morning.
In your shorts, 2020 sports.
On the left side, down low, Robinson. Spins, double team. To Johnson. Avery inside, foul. Robinson goes up. No good. No foul was called. First can't believe it. A battle for the ball, and the game is over. David Robinson went up and got murdered. The Spurs go down in a bloody heap. This sports report, written by Craig out in the newsroom. What's Craig's last name? Chamadez. Craig Chamadez. We had to change that. Jay Howard had to call there on the Spurs radio network of San Antonio.
Little special friends imprisoned in the basement of Mr. Rogers. With the advent of Megan's Law, one wonders why he's still in the neighborhood. Every right-wing boy and girl all around the industrialized world gonna do the Limbaugh rock all around the Limbaugh clock. Bubba be nimble, Willie be slick. First husband Clinton makes me sick. Be the first one on your block. Try and do the Limbaugh rock. Limbaugh's to the right now. A little further to the right now. A little further to the right. How conservative can you go? Clinton's main artillery is that shrew Miss Hillary. We here at the EIB fear her feminazi
tyranny. Though she loves to politic, she'd be better at turning tricks. Don't intend to offend or shock. I'm just doing the Limbaugh rock. And now, time for another homosexual update. According to Outweek, you should excuse the expression homosexual rag. Gay weddings are on the rise. My question is, at a homosexual wedding, where do they stick the bouquet? White's my face and red's my neck. Quite far from politically correct. Lifetime member of the NRA. Same goes for the KKK. All the homeboys in my hood all wear hoods like homies should. Put a Negro in a hammerlock. Come on, do the Limbaugh rock. Come on over to the right now. You don't have to be that bright now. How conservative can you go? Rush Limbaugh saying Sieg Heil. And remember, folks, if an Afro-American, liberal, lesbian, feminazi Jew should move into your neighborhood, do the right thing. Kill her. More after this. Rush Limbaugh. Here on the hideous Imus in the Morning program. 12 minutes till the hour. Nora Hayden, the woman.
That's like having a bench of Jack McKinney, Paul Weston, and Pat Riley. It ain't bad. Huh?
And he still lost by 20.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The NA.
All right, here now on the Imus in the Morning program, one of my favorite blues singers, blind Mississippi white boy P.P. Spree. Good morning, blind.
Morning, boy.
Of course, if I was explaining to people you're not blind.
No, well, that's true.
Far side.
Yeah, but it take too long to say far side of Mississippi white boy P.P. Spree.
Plus, it doesn't sound like a blues deal either.
Right, it don't fit on my towels neither.
So what you got today?
Well, you know, sometimes you get the blues out the newspaper. And, you know, heavy lie the head to wear the crown.
Right.
Just cause you live in a White House don't mean you ain't gonna get no blues, you know what I'm saying? This is what I call the whitewater blues.
Oh, sure.
Goes something like this here. Got the hop in the wrong way. Maybe I am blind.
Better call a plumber, cause somebody just unsprung a leak. Hillary couldn't hold back her white water, now she in Bubba up a creek. And it may just be a matter of time before they up the river, doing a jailhouse rock cheek to cheek. They spent evenings by the fire, voiding documents they couldn't shred. And Vince Foster don't say nothing, since the boy done got shot in the head. But remember the words of old Ben Franklin, really can keep a secret so long two of them are dead. Well, one down, so I suggest you get yourself a food taster, girl. Oh, white water, keep on rolling. Mrs. Clinton, won't you keep on smiling on me? Oh, white water, keep on rolling. What's Mrs. Clinton's deal with the Madison guarantee? Oh, white water, keep on rolling. Mrs. Clinton don't go looking for no amnesty. Cause you drowning in a sea of mystery, and there ain't no help from shore. How long can you tread white water? How much of this thunderstorm can you endure? It may be time to build an ark like Noah and sail it back to Arkansas.
Blind Mississippi white boy P.P. Spree. Here on the Imus in the Morning program.
I gotta find something that rhyme with impeachment.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street in that heartbreak hotel. I'll be so lonely, baby. I'll be so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could cry. Oh, people that cry in their grave. They'll be so lonely. They'll be so lonely. They'll be so lonely they could die. Well, up to the floor, that's black, that's in black. They've been so long and lonely streets, they'll never get back. They'll be so lonely. They'll be so lonely, baby. You know they're lonely, they could die.
I guess the first thing people want to know is why I can't stand still when I'm singing. Some people tap their feet, some people snap their fingers, and some people just sway back and forth. I just sort of do them all together, I guess. Singing rhythm and blues really knocks it out. I watch my audience and listen to them, and I know that we're all getting something out of our system, and none of us knows what it is. The important thing is that we're getting rid of it, and nobody's getting hurt.
Imus in the morning.
Defense Fund, 332. Speaking on behalf of 332, here is Massachusetts Senator Edward M. Kennedy. Hello. You might wonder why I have acceded to an overture from agents representing O.J. Simpson to become the principal spokesperson for 332. There are three reasons: a car, a rich celebrity, and a dead babe. And if I might add one other, a circumstantial case that seems to scream, you will be in jail forever. As many of you know, I have devoted a substantial portion of my adult life, my years of service to you, to extricating myself from one seemingly hopeless jam after another. One of my most recent involved having a few pops at a West Palm pickup bar, hauling some chicks back to my mother's beach house, and parading around in my undershorts while my nephew played Walla the Weasel with the blue dot damsel of the dunes. There have been many more. However, my most noted episode occurred years earlier. It enables me today to focus with great clarity on the Simpson case, sharing, as it does, the three elements I mentioned a moment ago and need not repeat. Taken together, however, they would seem to point to a very poor prognosis for Orenthal, life in the slammer. That is why I have agreed to help. Everybody knows how much we Kennedys like football. The defense suggested so far by Mr. Simpson's legal representation does not confer plausibility that the untimely demise of the victims was the result of A, certain underworld activities, or B, that O.J. on the night in question had merely been trying to protect himself from another in a long series of husband-beating episodes. In fact, the specious reasoning enunciated by the defense so far exposes Mr. Simpson's attorneys for what I have long believed they are: three lizards and a bell-curve lackey who are doing a terrible disservice to their client. Therefore, here now, the Ted Kennedy plausibility defense blueprint to cover a certain time period that has never been satisfactorily explained on the night of the misfortune. The defense must immediately adjust its story in the following manner. First, O.J. drove to a beach to wash off the residue from a case of ketchup that had inexplicably exploded inside his Ford Bronco. He then stepped from the car, waded into the water, and swam to Catalina Island. Upon reaching Catalina Island, he crawled, exhausted, onto the sand, fell asleep for the next 6 hours, and upon awakening, immediately ran for public office. It may not be perfect, but as I once demonstrated, it works, and is far better than "she beat me." Yeah, O.J., she beat you, and I was locked in the trunk. I don't think so. Thank you, Senator Kennedy. On behalf of 332, if you have any suggestions regarding how Orenthal James Simpson might improve his alibi, send your suggestions to Cochran, Ullman, Shapiro, Bailey, and Dershowitz in care of Give Me a F***ing Break, Los Angeles, California.
Unfortunately, we decided to call Fred in Santa Fe. Nora Hayden's here. Nora Hayden is still humping his book. How to satisfy a woman every time and have her beg for more. It's your contention that most women fake orgasms.
All women.
All women fake
Well, the
orgasms.
ones that don't fake it just lie there and do nothing.
Hey, I was married to one of those.
Oh, really?
I thought you was dead. Unfortunately, didn't bother you, did it, Fred?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know, having sex with you, I'd play dead, too. What's on to hear this fossil? The only item of wearing apparel that you ought to be making, Fred, is the Auto Body Express toe tag.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Sure it was a guy, isn't it?
I don't know the track number.
I gave you the track number, didn't I?
No.
Number track 6.
That's not what you didn't tell me that.
I didn't.
No.
Well, I'm a lot of pressure. So I stayed up until 1 o'clock this morning. If I give you a big banana, will you let me be your monkey man?
Said to the chimpanzee, hey there, little bit, what you think of me? Ain't I the biggest and the baddest that you ever did see? Well, I can flip my lip down my chest, and I can hang with the best, and I even had my picture in the Geographic magazine. Well, I ain't saying I'm bad, but my dad was King Kong, a climber from New York who fell for some blonde. They said she was a cheetah, and you look like a cheetah to me. So come over here, cheetah. Forget about Tarzan. He ain't half as good looking, and he ain't got my tan. And I'll give you a big banana if you let me be your monkey man. I said we'll go swinging on a clinging vine. I'll be yours if you'll be mine. We'll get high in the trees drinking coconut wine. You know, Mighty Joe Young's a good friend of mine. We'll go tumbling in the sand, doing double backflips and land on our hands. And I'll give you a big banana if you let me be your monkey man. Sammy Allred and the Geezinslaws here with Imus. Not too many years ago, when dreams weren't coming true, I'd reach for inspiration. Sometimes it would be you.
Randy Travis here.
I'd hear you on the radio. I sure didn't like your sound.
Quack, quack.
It's good to know there's still a few country boys around. Imus in the morning.
Watch you. This is it. War. Ugly.
Let the walking bird dog. If you don't know how to do it, show you how to bird dog. Come on, come on. Imus in the morning.
How's it going, Joey? Yeah, the tear my dog's uterus. Well, okay. Jesus, God. Man. IBM 9.
Help, I'm wild, I can't get down. Got two left feet planted on the ground. I need some help in the deuce town. Help, I'm wild, I can't get down. Imus in the morning.
Hi, welcome to...
Big show tonight, though, with Messier, Giuliani, that a little bit later on. We'll come back after 4, so don't go away.
Original Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Congressman Joe Kennedy, this I think is his third appearance or so. So how are you?
I'm doing great, Don. It's good to hear your voice. You put a smile on my face, Don Imus, throughout the Christmas vacation, reading your book.
With all due respect, Congressman Kennedy, and I don't mean any offense by this, but the fact that you like my book confirms the rumors that have been around Washington for a while is that you are a dope.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
But it'll be interesting, won't it, when we crank up these whitewater herons again, have these Arkansas weasels screaming under Klieg lights.
Well, if Sonny Bono's the guy who's going to be asking the questions, I would say the Arkansas fellas aren't going to have a hell of a lot to worry about.
That's horrible.
Imus in the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
This is the 50,000-watt clear channel voice of the Mets, Jets, Rangers, and St. John. The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 4 o'clock. This is John Minko.
I already lost like $5,000, and I wasn't about to throw more money down that hole. So the way our legal system works, things like that can happen. I think we need some more facts on this case before we make firm judgments, and I guess that's what they're going to do at Seton Hall Monday. The dog is next. John Minko with a flash. I'll be back with you again overnight, Sunday night.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minko. Skies are cloudy. That's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Christopher Russo along the way here on the fan on the 21st day of January, 1995. Good to have you with us. Busy day today indeed, as we take it at 1 o'clock. You get a scholarship, and you punish him in some way. This is an awful job by everybody involved. Coming back.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. This is John Minko. John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the home for Super Bowl 29. Hour 2, good to have you with us on the fan. Christopher Russo on a Saturday morning here until 1 o'clock. 718-937-6666, 2A Sports Talk telephone number. You heard Dick Irvin this morning. He's the Canadian broadcaster in the building last night. An outsider's perspective, a little more privilege and desire to play than a baseball player. He just does. And he proved it with playing with a lousy bargaining agreement. 12 o'clock, coming back.
Radio 66, WFAN New York, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. This is Iron Eagle. Happening. This is Iron Eagle with 2020 Sports on WFAN, your home of Super Bowl 29. Fans, hour 3 of our radio program. Good to have you aboard. Good show today so far. Dick Irvin joined us in our first hour to discuss the whole deal with the Rangers, and he, of course, the Canadian broadcaster. You heard from Roger Bear, 718-937-6666. 2A Sports Talk telephone number. Joan Shinn across the way. We're here until 1 o'clock. Jody will be with us then and take us to the afternoon hours. We have the Rangers and the Canadians tonight, 7:05.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
I don't have it in front of me, but Mike informs that they both about average the same amount of rebounds, and they probably both, and obviously Kareem scored a lot of points. Well, James, you're right. I was wrong. If I said that Walt dominated Kareem, I should have said that. So nice job on the correction with you. Mike tomorrow at 9. I'll see you Monday at 2 and 1 with Mike. Enjoy your weekend on the fan. Adios.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock. This is Iron Eagle. You're 45 degrees, partly sunny skies, and that's what's happening. This is Iron Eagle with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Knicks basketball. Hello.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
And a good afternoon, everybody. Couple of minutes after 1. Here on the fan in New York City and or other surrounding states with a real nice 50,000-watt signal. My name's Joseph Anthony Aloysius McDonald Jr. Most people just call me Jody Mack. You can call me anything you want, as long as you call me at 718-937-6666. Should be a busy Saturday afternoon, following up a busy Friday night in the world of sports, specifically here with New York teams.
For 9 degrees, a light sprinkle, and that's what's happening. This is Ian Eagle with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Knicks basketball. Everyone, it is 5:04 on the Fan. Ed Coleman here with you up until 7 o'clock tonight, as we'll take you right up until Ranger hockey time. One more time for the Rangers as they try to get it right in 1995. Off their loss to Buffalo last night on a championship night, no one was very surprised at the loss after an emotionally draining pregame ceremony. Seemed to take forever, but well worth it. When you wait since 19...
Ligouri back with you on the Fan. 1:25 is the time, and we bring in former Giant and Brown, Lee Rousson. Lee, how are you?
I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Lee Rousson. Yes. 2-time Super Bowl winner. As he looks ahead to next week. I didn't really flat out ask him who I thought who he thinks will win, but he wants to see a close game. Don't we all? Certainly not going to be a blowout. We'll be back.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan,
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Morning, this is Bob Husler with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey.
All right, Bobby, thanks very much. In
WFAN New York.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
2:09 is the time, and if you're like Bruce, you're on your way to work right now. Or if you're like me, you are working right now. Glad to have you aboard. I'm here until 5:45. And then next weekend, I'm out of town. So I'll have somebody in for me on Friday/Saturday. But either way, lots of sports to talk about. And
Time to call Fred in Santa Fe. Nora Hayden's here. Nora Hayden is still humping this book. How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. It's your contention that most women fake orgasms.
All women.
All women fake
Well,
orgasms.
the ones that don't fake it just lie there and do nothing.
Hey, I was married to one of those.
Oh, really?
I thought you was dead.
Unfortunately, didn't bother you, did it, Fred?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know, having sex with you, I'd play dead, too.
What's on me here? This fossil? Jeez. The only item of wearing apparel that you ought to be making, Fred, is the Auto Body Express toe tag.
In the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 9 o'clock. This is John Minko.
There are ups and downs that every guy has, and Jack has had a few, and he's had a great career over them, too. I know some people don't appreciate hearing him on football with Hank, but listen, Jack is one of the all-time greats. We'll see him.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN.
Howdy, guys, and that's what's happening. This is Gary Cohen with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
We're back at 12:04 on the Fan. Hour number 1 is in the books. We'll go till 2:10 and then pick it up after St. John's and Pitt at the Garden. We got that on the Fan. Also, the Knicks and Miami Heat a little bit later on. Kevin Ligouri, the Heat coach, should join us a little later on in the program as well. I'm Ed Coleman with you till then, 937-6666. That is our phone number, and the phone lines are open for you. College basketball underway here in a few minutes anyway. Georgetown and nice story, and it's hopefully we'll have a very, very happy ending. All right, coming up to 1 o'clock, Gary Cohen's got the latest. I'm Ed Coleman. We're back. We'll keep the phones open on the other side.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan,
important guys, and that's what's happening. This is Gary Cohen with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball. It's 104 on the Fan as we head to St. John's basketball at 2:10. That is the pregame against Pittsburgh at the Garden this afternoon. A little bit later on, we'll have the Knicks and Miami Heats. And Susan Wallman in about 6 o'clock or so for the extended pregame. 7:30 is the tap time, 7:05 the pregame show, and Susan will be in about 6 o'clock or so. 937-60. We've got that on the Fan for you. Coming up at 7:30 tonight. Susan Wallman will be up next at the top of the hour, and she'll take you with the extended pregame right till Knicks tap-off at 7:30. Thanks to Mel Kiper for joining us. Thanks to Dick Todd earlier in the day, assistant coach with the Rangers. I'm Ed Coleman. Thanks to Lula Shepard and Stevie Cohen for helping out here and everybody in the newsroom. And I will catch you tomorrow night right here on the Fan. Have a good one, folks. See ya.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
You 30. Current Central Park temperature 34 degrees, and that's what's happening. This is Bob Usler with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the home of Super Bowl 29.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN. New York.
6:05 here in the Fan. I'm Susan Waldman. Be with you through the Knicks game all the way on the other side. For about an hour, we're going to talk about some things that you want to talk about. 718-937-6666. We'll talk to Ian O'Connor of the Daily News in a little while about some basketball things, both college and pro. Interesting game right now going into overtime, Phoenix and Orlando. You can see what is wrong with both of these teams. Interesting that the Phoenix Suns...
I got on a city bus and found a vacant seat. I thought I saw my future bride walking up the street. I shouted to the driver, hey conductor, you must slow down. I think I see her, please let me off the bus. Nadine, honey, is that you? Oh, Nadine, honey, is that you? Seems like every time I see you, darling, you got something else to do. Imus in the morning.
Happy Sunday, beauty. Flashback. Start here now on the Imus in the Morning program. Nationally syndicated gossip columnist Liz Smith. Good morning, Liz.
You ever get a song stuck in your head, and no matter what you do, you can't get rid of it?
I'm fun.
Well, ever since I read an advanced copy of The Secret Life of Chairman Mao, written by his former personal physician, Dr. Li Jisui, I've been humming, Please Don't Talk About Me When I'm Gone. In the new book, published by Random House, the figure considered the patriarch of modern communist China is painted as nothing more than a dirty old man. Literally. Apparently, the little iniquitous Oriental never bathed or brushed his teeth and preferred several young women in his bed at the same time. I guess he thought he could restore his declining yang with their yin. Nothing like a licentious, unhygienic Asian to sell a few $100,000, huh? Meanwhile, Kermit the Frog is scheduled to address Oxford University's fabled debating society on the subject of life and the environment. As if Bill Clinton's attending the institution wasn't enough to destroy its reputation. In the past, the debating society has enjoyed speeches from the likes of former President Ronald Reagan and Mother Teresa. And I guess one could assume that they're at a loss for inspirational speakers. I think it says something about the state of higher education when you have some of the finest minds in the world sitting in an auditorium for 20 minutes listening intently to a f***ing green sock. And if that isn't bizarre enough for you, check this out. Amy Ray, half of the Indigo Girls singing duo, will be featured on a new recording of the Andrew Lloyd Webber rock opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, performing the role of Jesus. While her other half, Emily Salyers, will play the part of Mary Magdalene. You can make up your own joke for that one if you want to, but if you ask me, that one's good enough all by itself.
Why don't you provide us with a joke, Liz?
You don't think that's funny on its own?
Well, no, I
Two lesbians doing the Passion of Christ?
Oh, okay, I get it. I am Imus in the morning. Coming up this morning, Mary Matlin.
Continuing his mission to regain political viability, here is the billionaire industrialist, founder of United We Stand, H. Ross Perot.
Amos, here we are at the half. Clock running out, down 50 to nothing, punting out of their own end zone, and the Clinton administration just fell on the ball. It's just sad. Sending Bill Clinton a message is like using a 2x4 to try to get the attention of a brain-dead mule by whacking it in the head. First off, there's Senator Kennedy the other day making that deranged speech about how the Democrats should keep doing the same thing that's now got them on life support. And now we learn that Harold Ickes, this fellow described in the New York Times as Clinton's canny deputy chief of staff, is going to be kept on because he's crucial to Bill Clinton getting reelected. Harold Ickes, Amos, the canny deputy chief of staff who, now pay attention, had the main responsibility for the president's health care plan, for damage control on Whitewater, and planning the strategy for the midterm election. Keep him. He's f***ing killing us, Amos. Health care, as you know, is down to a tube of nasal jelly, some chicken soup, and a handy wipe for anybody over 65. Whitewater's about to make a stink like a flatulent Greek at an olive oil orgy soon as D'Amato gets the choke chain off. And after that midterm election strategy from the canny Mr. Ickes, what's left of the Democratic Party looks like Kobe, Japan. And Clinton's decided to put this guy on the re-election mission. I'm telling you, Amos, it's just sad, but the president's about 2 canny decisions away from appearing with his brother on the Jerry Springer show, just ahead of the 2-headed, wife-swapping transvestite lumberjack. Or maybe with him, now that I think about it. I mean, just call up Bob Dole now and say, Bob, you don't even need a transition team. Just come on down. And that fellow who's such a good friend of yours, Amos, that poor sap Chris Dodd, you talk about your people who are out of bacon. He thinks this partisan bickering in Congress shows that the Democrats still have a pulse left. Forget the pulse, Senator Dodd. If that's what you're thinking, you need to go for a brain scan. See if there's something other than Velveeta up there. Ickes' old friend Susan Thomas, Amos, he used to live with her. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Before he got married, lived with the woman.
Really?
No wonder Clinton likes him. Anyway, Thomas says Ickes has an incredible capacity for work and a way of being able to clearly define what the president needs to do and should be told to do. All right, Mr. Ickes, you know what the president needs to do and what you should tell him to do? Get out. Just get out. For God's sakes, just go. Thanks, Amos. Much obliged for having me on your show.
This is an example of what is wrong with American politics. We set up things, we scream at each other, and you're a phony, and you're dishonest, and you misrepresented yourself. Now look, I'm trying to answer your question, and I will if you will shut up.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna see you right now. I'm just so no. Mama said don't do right. I'm in the morning.
Putting a perfect office staff together is not easy. If you're tired of hiring employees on...
Hey, Bubba, what are you doing?
Writing my State of the Union address, Beavis. Every January, I tell the American people what good shape our country is in, what a great job I'm doing as president.
How are you gonna do that?
Lie?
Are you gonna, go on TV and, preempt the Fresh Prince and Melrose Place?
Well, yes.
That sucks. Nobody's gonna watch you.
Well, this is one of my best opportunities to get some good publicity, Beavis. What can I do to boost my rating?
Why don't you get a couple of those buff Baywatch babes?
Hillary'd have a cow.
Okay, why don't you have the dudes from Green Day play behind you?
Do you have the time to listen to me whine? Nah, that's stupid.
Oh, what can we do to get people to watch you?
I could offer a tax rebate in exchange for what?
I got it. What are most people interested in today?
Newt Gingrich?
No, you butt wipe. OJ.
That's President Butt Wipe to you, Beavis. But that's a great idea, especially seeing as both OJ and I are on trial.
Yeah. And you wish you could kill your wife.
Tell Ickes to bring the Bronco around front. We're going for a ride.
Breaking the law.
Is that melted yogurt?
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports rolls on.
Starts for 3. No good off the back of the rim. Ball tip picked up by Reeves. Fires it up 3/4 court at the buzzer. Yes! It's good! Reeves from 3/4 court puts in the 3 at the buzzer. What a shot!
A dramatic way to end an emphatic first half. Mike Breen and Clyde Frazier on WFAN as we have Imus 2020 sports. Mike Breen, God, man, settle down. It's a game in January. I mean, what's going on? They're going to play till June.
He was squealing, actually.
Yeah. And the Knicks went on to win, man. Very new. It's so much in demand. No, this is serious. There's a 6-year waiting list to get in. And actually, the way they treat these people, the doctors and the nurses
drink with the patients all day long. You know, they don't have many cures, but how the days fly by. Joy.
That's that new alcohol treatment center that is opened over in Dublin. Yeah, I understand that, but I mean,
I'll be looking for that Geezinslaws tape.
Fred,
Yes.
I have this woman on the phone who's giving me hell for. She claims I've become a politically correct wussy. And
she's right.
Yes, Fred, isn't he?
Oh, man, I can't tell you what a big wuss he's become in the last 6 months.
He's even stopped smoking. You're whining about yourself, and stop it. If you mention, I will never buy Esquire magazine as long as I live. I couldn't. 2 weeks of pure hell. I wouldn't buy it.
Well, fine. If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Hey, you know what one deadhead said to the other deadhead?